Hi children, welcome you all to my class. I hope everyone are fine. Today we are going to study 6th standard second language English prose Neerja Bhanot. Brave in life, brave in death. This lesson is in two parts. We are doing first part today. Okay. I hope children you are all ready for the class. Yes? Okay. Children, I hope you are all ready with your book, textbook and pen. Yes, very good. Children, we are going to learn about these topics. Those are introduction, glossary, prose, that is Neerja Bhanot, story time, exercises and assignments. Which is the first topic now? Good. It is introduction. We will see what we are going to do now. You have learnt Children of Courage lesson in class 5th. Are you? Yes, you have already learnt it. Can you tell some situations? That is a lesson about the children's courage who all got bravery awards. Can you tell some situations? Can you think of some situations which you had learnt? Okay, I hope you have thought about some situations. Let me see now. I will give you two sentences. You should read that sentences and later I will show you some pictures. You should match with the pictures. Okay. So, Priyanshu Joshi 10 years old from Uttarakhand and Harish Chandra 14 years old Scott boy. So, I will show you two pictures. You should identify which pictures related to this sentences. Okay. Let us see the first picture. Here you can see a boy fighting with a leopard. Okay. So, can you tell me which boy among these two boys, which boy fought against the leopard and saved his sister? I gave you the clue. Which boy? Is it Priyanshu Joshi or Harish Chandra? Very good. It is Priyanshu Joshi. Okay, see that picture. See which boy saved? It is left out as Harish Chandra. You remember that situation when there was it was on October 2nd, where our first Prime Minister, they had a gathering on Gandhi Jayanti and there was a short circuit of fire and the fire caught to the tent and a Scott boy saved the children by cutting a tent with his knife. So, that was done by Harish Chandra 14 years old. Okay. I think you know many other situations also. Good. Today we are going to see the next topic is glossary. What is the next topic? Glossary. There are some new words. Glossary or come across this word. You already padana kelidira alla makla. So, glossary means new words. So, we will see some new words in the lesson what we are going to do next. Okay. Let us see the first word, attendant. See this word, attendant. Attendant, a person employed to provide a service to the public. A person who is employed, to provide a service to a public. See, for example, in the flight or plane, a person, see, the person is helping the public to go and sit there. So, the person who helps the public or the other person who rents the service, ಯಾರು ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಕರಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಟೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? So, we will see one sentence related to this word. Neerja was a flight attendant for Pan Am Airlines. So, Neerja was a flight attendant for Pan Am Airlines. Neerja ಅನ್ನೋ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಅಟೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? Shall we move for the next word? On board. On board andre ಏನು ಮಕ್ಕಳ? ನೋಡಿ, on board means on a plane. Okay. You have seen people sitting in a plane. So, they are on board. ಅವ್ರು ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿ ಕುಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So, ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ they are on board. So, the passengers are on board. The passengers are already in the flight. They are on board ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Recipient. What do you mean by recipient? A person who awarded something a person who is awarded something. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನಾವು ರೆಸಿಪಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋರನ್ನ ರೆಸಿಪಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್, ನೀರ್ಜಾ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ ಯಂಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೆಸಿಪಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಠದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀರ್ಜಾ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ ಯಂಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೆಸಿಪಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಹೈಜಾಕ್. ಹೈಜಾಕ್, ಹೈಜಾಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು? ನೋಡಿ ಓದ್ಬೋದು, ವಿಮಾನ ಅಪಹರಣ. ಹೈಜಾಕ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಹೈಜಾಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿಮಾನ ಅಪಹರಣ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಉಗ್ರಗಾಮಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೈಟನ್ನು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಆಗ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೈಜಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. PA-73 flight was hijacked by the terrorists. This flight was hijacked by the terrorists. ಉಗ್ರಗಾಮಿಗಳು ಅದನ್ನು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅಲುಮ್ನ, ದೋಸಾ ಪದನ ಕೇಳೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. We'll see what is the meaning of this. Alumna means a former student, former prime minister, former chief minister ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಲ. ಸೊ ಏನು ಹಾಗಂದರೆ ಹಳೆಯ, ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ, ಈಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು, ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಹಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅಲುಮ್ನಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್, ಹಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲುಮ್ನಾ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್, ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಟೀಚರ್. ಸೊ ಟೀಚರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ದ former student of that teacher. She is alumna of that teacher. Priya was an alumna of Sacred Heart Senior Secondary School. She studied in that school. Now she is not studying. She was studying in that school. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? Civilian. Civilian is a person not in the armed services. So a person who is not in the armed services. Armed ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಸೈನ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸಿವಿಲಿಯನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೈನ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರು, ಬೇರೆ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ನಮ್ಮಂಥವ್ರು, ನಾವು ಸೈನ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸಿವಿಲಿಯನ್. ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೈನಿಕರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇವರೊಬ್ಬರು ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸಿವಿಲಿಯನ್, ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿವಿಲಿಯನ್. ಸೊ ಅ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ armed service is called as civilian. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? Purser. Purser, an officer on a plane who takes care of passengers. So he is an officer in a plane who takes care of passengers. ಇವರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಟೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಚಿತ್ರ ಬಂತಲ್ವ, ಅವರನ್ನು ಪ್ಯಾಸೆಂಜರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇವರು ಅವ್ರಿಗಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೇಲಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು. ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆನ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆನ್ ಅ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ who takes care of passenger. Neerja was a senior flight purser of PA-73 flight. So Neerja was a senior flight purser. She was a purser of PA-73 flight. En route. En route. En route ಅಂದರೆ on the way. ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ದಾಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. on the way to our destination. Okay. Here you can see a picture. A man is going to a mountain. He is going to climb a mountain. His destination is here, but he is on the way to his destination. The man is en route towards the mountain peak. He is en route towards the mountain peak. He is on the way to his mountain peak. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? Cockpit. Cockpit is a compartment for the pilot. In the flight you are seeing the pilots who runs the flight, right? So pilots, where they sit, that cabin is called as cockpit. So you can see the instruments kept there, how to handle the flight. So this place is called as cockpit. We'll see the sentence. The pilots sit in the cockpit. Who will say? Will the passengers sit in this cockpit? No. The pilots will sit in the cockpit. Crew. All the people working on a plane. ವಿಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ರೂ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. See, can find the people who are working in the flight or plane. We'll see the sentence. Neerja was one of the members of the crew. Neerja was one among them. She was also a crew like them. Neerja was one of the members of the crew. What is this? Tarmac. Tarmac means runway. It is called as runway. Runway. Runway means the going path of a flight, where it will move while taking up the flight. The path where it moves, it's called as runway. So you can see the place here. So these are the tarmac of the flights. See, the flight is moving here. Can you see the flight moving on the tarmac? The two flights are on the tarmac. Flee. What do you mean by flee? Flee means run away. So when you go out of, or when you are going out of some situation or some incident, for example, if dog is coming, so you are running. So when you are running, it is called you are fleeing. You are fleeing from the dog. You are fleed from the dog. Flee means run away. So the sentence for this is, we should not flee from responsibility. We should not flee from responsibility. Whatever is our responsibility, we should do the responsibility. We should not run away from our responsibility. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಗಳಿಂದ ಓಡೋಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ನಾಯಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಓಡೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫ್ಲೀ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಅಪಘಾತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಓಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಓಡೋಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಟೇಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್. Take charge. Assume control. So what do you mean by take charge? We are not exactly charge of that, but we will assume that it is in our control. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು, HM ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಬೇರೆ ಟೀಚರು ಸ್ಕೂಲಿನ ಚಾರ್ಜನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅವರು HM ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮದೊಂದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಬರೋವರೆಗೂ ನಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಟೇಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So that is called as assume it is in your control. Neerja, being the most senior cabin crew member on board, took charge. So when she was a senior cabin member, she took charge of the flight. Okay. Why did she take? We'll see in the lesson. Children, I hope you understood the meaning better. So the next part, when we are doing the lesson, so you will understand the meaning better with the situation. ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ ನೀವು. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಥರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರೋಸ್. ನೀರ್ಜಾ ಬಾನೋಟ್. ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್? ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸೇ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಶಿ? ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಯಾರಿಗಾದರೂ ಯಾರು ಇವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ? ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ? ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ರಾ? She is an actress? No. Okay. Next, any guess? You don't know who is she? Okay. I'll tell you who is she. We'll go to the lesson. Her name is Neerja Bhanot. What is her name? Neerja Bhanot. Very good. So, the lesson name is Neerja Bhanot. It's also entitled as Brave in Life, Brave in Death. She was brave in life and she was also brave in death. We'll see what is it. You like the story, right? Today we are going to know about Neerja Bhanot's story. Shall we start? Yes. Neerja Bhanot was born on 7th September 1963 in Chandigarh, India. She was the daughter of Rama Bhanot and Arish Bhanot, a Mumbai-based journalist. So, Neerja Bhanot was born. ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಮಗು? ನೀರ್ಜಾ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವಾಗ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು? 7th September 1963 ಇನ್ ಚಂಡೀಗಢ್, ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಭಾರತದ ಚಂಡೀಗಢದಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಡಾಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ರಮಾ ಬಾನೋಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹರೀಶ್ ಬಾನೋಟ್. ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಡಾಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ರಮಾ ಬಾನೋಟ್. ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ತಾಯಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ರ ತಾಯಿ. ದೆನ್ ಹರೀಶ್ ಬಾನೋಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ. ಸೊ ಹರೀಶ್ ಬಾನೋಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸ್ಟ್. ಜರ್ನಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರನ್ನ ಪತ್ರಿಕೋದ್ಯಮಿ, ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಖ್ಯಾತ ಪತ್ರಿಕೋದ್ಯಮಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಮುಂಬೈಯ ವಾಸಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ಮುಂಬೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ ಅಲುಮ್ನಾ ಆಫ್ ಸೇಕ್ರೆಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್, ಚಂಡೀಗಢ್, ಬಾಂಬೆ ಸ್ಕಾಟಿಷ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಝೇವಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್, ಮುಂಬೈ. So she was an alumna of Sacred Heart School. Alumna ಅನ್ನೋ ಪದದ ಅರ್ಥ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ನೀವು. ಸೊ ಅಲುಮ್ನ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಆ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಒಂದು ಹಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಓದಿದ ಶಾಲೆ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ ಸೇಕ್ರೆಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಸೇಕ್ರೆಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಬಂದು ನೀರ್ಜಾ ಬಾನೋಟ್. ದೆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಝೇವಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇನ್ ಮುಂಬೈ. ಇದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಖ್ಯಾತವಾದ ಶಾಲೆಯಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಇನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್. ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಾಂಬೆ ಸ್ಕಾಟಿಷ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್. Neerja Bhanot joined Pan Am Airlines in 1986. She was the senior flight purser on the ill-fated Pan Am Flight 73. This flight was hijacked by 4 heavily armed terrorists after it landed in Karachi at 5 a.m. from Mumbai. So, Neerja Bhanot, after her studies, she joined airlines. The airline's name was Pan Am Airlines. That was in 1986. When she joined to the airlines, and she was also given a post called Senior Flight Purser. Senior Flight Purser, and that was in Pan Am Airlines. On the ill-fated Pan, why they are called ill-fated, I'll tell you later. Okay. Then this flight was hijacked by 4 heavily armed terrorists. So this flight was hijacked. Hijacked means I showed you the picture that terrorist is attacking the flight, right? So the terrorists are attacking the flight. You can see here Neerja was given a post of senior flight purser, and this picture indicates she joined the Pan Am Airlines, and here she is given a post of senior flight purser, and here the picture is where the terrorists are getting into the flight. In Karachi, the terrorists hijacked this Pan Am Airlines. PA 73, it's nothing but PA means Pan Am. Pan Am 73 was en route to Frankfurt and onward to New York City. Neerja alerted the cockpit crew about the hijack. As the plane was on the tarmac, so what happened when Pan Am 73 was en route to Frankfurt? So it was in Karachi. It came from Mumbai. It was in Karachi. From Karachi, it was taken to Frankfurt. It was going to Frankfurt. It was en route to Frankfurt and onward to New York City. It was next going to New York City. That time Neerja alerted cockpit. Neerja got to know that the flight is hijacked by the terrorists. So she informed this to the cockpit crew about the hijack as the plane was on the tarmac. When the flight was going on the tarmac, she informed it to the pilot. See, the flight was going on the tarmac, she informed to the pilot. Then what happened? Then the 3 members, cockpit crew and pilot, co-pilot and the flight engineer were able to flee from the aircraft. But what happened? He was a pilot, engineer pilot, co-pilot, everyone, they got scared. They were afraid of the terrorists and they flee from the aircraft. They ran away from the aircraft. They left the flight. They went out. They ran away from the plane, and Neerja was being the most senior cabin crew member on the board. She took charge of it. So she took the charge of it and she tried to manage the flight even though there was no pilot, no co-pilot and no engineer. Even though there was no pilot, no co-pilot, no engineer, no one were there, but Neerja stood and she wanted to save the passengers. She didn't flee from the aircraft. Children, if you want to know what is the next, you should wait for the next class. For today, I am going to stop this lesson here. We will go to the exercise part. The next story, I am going to continue in the next class. Did you enjoy with the story, children? Now, I am going to give you a short story. Now, I went through the lesson, right? Now, I will give you a story, short story of the whole lesson what we did now. Shall we do? You listen to the story? You are bored? No. Okay. Now it is a story time. So who born? On 7th September 1963, who was born? Neerja, yes. Neerja born on 7th September 1963. Our parents were? Who were our parents? Yes, Rama Bhanot and Harish Bhanot. So, they were her parents. What happened? Then the child grew and she joined to the school. She finished her studies. So, then what happened? She joined to the airlines as a air hostess. She joined as a air hostess in Pan Am Airlines. Then what happened? When did she join the Pan Am Airlines? In 1986. Then the flight was hijacked by the terrorists. Crew members of the flight, they flee from the flight, but Neerja took the part and she controlled the flight and she took the charge and she protected the passengers. We will see how she protected the passengers in the next class. Okay. Children, let me check now how well you listened to the lesson and how well you have understood. So, to check that, I am going to ask you a few questions. Are you ready? The first question, who were Neerja's parents? Very good. Everyone told me the answer. Good children. Rama Bhanot and Harish Bhanot are the parents of Neerja. You should write down this in your notebook. Okay children, you are writing it? Okay, take down in your notebooks. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚರ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಇದನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Next question, when did she join Pan Am Airlines? When did Neerja join Pan Am? Very good. Neerja joined Pan Am Airlines in 1986. She joined Pan Am Airlines in 1986. Who escaped from the aircraft? Who went? Who flew away from the aircraft? Who escaped from the aircraft? Yes, pilot, co-pilot and the flight engineer escaped from the aircraft. Children, are you taking down the notes? Okay. Where did Neerja study? Where did Neerja study? There are 3 schools, yes. Can you name them? Okay. Neerja studied in Sacred Heart Senior Secondary School, Chandigarh, Mumbai Scottish School and St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. You can mark down in your textbook also. It is there in your textbook. You can mark it. Okay. Children, we will go to the next part. It is tense forms. You have already learned about the tense, present tense, past tense, ಅಲ್ವಾ? ವರ್ತಮಾನ ಕಾಲ, ಭವಿಷ್ಯತ್ ಕಾಲ, ಭೂತಕಾಲ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So, you have already learnt about it. Now, we will see some words and you have also learnt about this in the lesson King's Minister, about the regular verb and irregular verb ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದಗಳು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಹೊಂದಿ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇ ಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಸೇರಿರುತ್ತೋ, ಆ ಪದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇ ಡಿ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ಸಮ್ present tense are given here. You should tell me the past tense. Let me check whether you know these words. Okay, try. Okay, the first word, die. What is a past tense form of die? Yes, some told me the answer. It is died. Good. Hijack. Very good. You added an ed and it is hijacked. Okay, join. Join. Joined. Yes. Land. Landed. Good. Children, you have done a good job. So, some have taken the help of the textbook and given me the answer. Good. ಕೆಲವರು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ನೋಡಿನೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಈಗ ಗೋ ಇದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇ ಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇ ಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇರ್ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಬ್. ಆ ವರ್ಡೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗೋ ಅಂದಾಗ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? ವಿ ಗೋ ಟು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಮಾಡಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಸ್, ವೆಂಟ್. ಗೋ, ವೆಂಟ್. ಟೇಕ್, ಟುಕ್. ಶೂಟ್, shot. Is, was. Okay, these are the past tense of these words. Okay. This table is there in your textbook. You should write down these answers in your textbook. ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? ಓಕೆ, ಬೇಗ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. Then there is one more table in your textbook. You should find some other words from the lesson and write down 4 more words in your textbook. ಇನ್ನು ಆ 4 ಪದಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಟೇಬಲ್ನ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಓಕೆ. The last topic for the day is assignment. We have come to the end of the class. Let us see what is a assignment. You should answer 2 questions. Children, ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 2ಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಉತ್ತರ ನೀವೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, why was the flight described as ill-fated? ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ವಿಮಾನವನ್ನು ಇಲ್-ಫೇಟೆಡ್, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ನೇಮ್ ದ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹೈಜಾಕ್ಡ್. ವೆನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಡಿಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ನಾನು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಪಾಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈ ಫ್ಲೈಟನ್ನು ಹೈಜಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಾಯಿತು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಬರೀತಿರಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ಜಾಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಓಕೆ. Here make sentences using the words from the box. An example has been given. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಪದಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪದಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ ನೀವು ವಾಕ್ಯ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ರಚನೆ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ವಾಕ್ಯ ರಚನೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪದಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸಿ ನೀವು ವಾಕ್ಯ ರಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ 10 sentences. You should make 10 sentences. One example is here, I have visited Hyderabad. So you should also use some words, as many as more than 10 also you can try. Minimum you should make 10 sentences from these words. Okay. You should do this and show it to your teacher. Will you all do it? I hope you will do. Good. Okay. Thank you children. I hope you enjoyed the class. I'll meet you in the next class for the remaining story. Be ready. Okay.